Welkom allemaal. Ik zie dat de deelnemers nog heel goed binnenkomen. Fijn om dat te zien. Ik ben ook heel blij dat we met het allereerste webinar van Young & Strong aan meer dan 100 inschrijvingen zitten. Dat succes is ook mede te danken aan het onderwerp en de samenwerking met Flora. Vermoed ik. Flora Insurance is een nieuwe start-up van ETIAS. ETIAS die ook een van de partners is van PXL VOCA Young & Strong. En vanavond gaan jullie horen hoe Flora verzekeringen naar het digitale tijdperk heeft gebracht. Onze gastheer is Fabian Delhaxhe. Hij is product owner van Flora Insurance. Dus dan geef ik nu het woord aan Fabian.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to see you so numerous today. I didn't expect that. I hope you will enjoy the presentation that I enjoyed prepared. So today the subject is how to disrupt traditional industry. And does anyone know a more traditional industry than insurance? Raise your hand if you know one. But maybe banking, but even banks, they have their mobile apps on since 2012, something like that. So insurance industry is one of the oldest industry in the place. Okay, so just to introduce myself, I'm digital transformation and innovation consultant. It's a great title. I have to admit I enjoy it. My employer is NRB. NRB is one of the biggest IT and consulting company in Belgium, 100% Belgium. So we have subsidiaries all over Belgium, in France, Switzerland, Greece, and also in the UK, I think. We are a group of more than 3,000 people. And we are also a subsidiary of ETIAS and the main partner of ETIAS regarding all their digital assets. So I'm 39, I'm married with 3 kids. I've been in digital since the beginning of the year 2000s. And I also teach digital strategy at the University of Louvain. So my key achievement, because I'm not only a consultant, I used to be a DJ. I DJed in front of 4,000 people, and it was very nice. I interviewed in real life Miley Cyrus, that I think you know. If you don't know Miley Cyrus, please raise your hand. Okay, everybody knows her. I also built a time machine, and you can use it at the Musée de la Vie Wallonne in Luik. Don't hesitate to go there. It's free every first Sunday of the month. And I'm also the father of Flora Insurance. So I worked for many brands during the last year, mainly for media companies in France and Belgium. I like to start my presentation with a quote. It's not that I'm a fan of box, but the quote is from Mike Tyson. It says, everybody has got a plan until they get punched in the face. I think this is something true in boxing, but it's also something true in business. Why? Because there are things that happen that as a company you cannot control and you cannot anticipate, and you have to change your plans. I don't know if you know, if you heard about Blockbuster. Who knows Blockbuster? Raise your hand. Okay, nobody. Blockbuster was the leader of the DVD and VHS tape rental in the United States 20 years ago. They had something like 29,000 employees with 4,000 stores, a turnover of $6 billion a year. So really big company. And there's a nice story about it. Someday, in something like 2002, 2003, 2 young entrepreneurs came for a meeting in the office of the CEO, and they had lunch started that was doing per post DVD rental. So their business was you pay a monthly fee and you can rent as many DVDs as you can receive and send back by post. So and they also had a kind of algorithm that could predict what people would like as films, etc. And so these 2 guys had a successful startup. They were not earning money yet, but they had great traction. So they came to Blockbuster to tell them, okay, guys, we have a great business, it's growing, but we don't have the money to support our growth today. would you like to buy our business for 50 million euros? For Blockbuster, 50 million euros was, or dollars, sorry, was not much at that time. And they said, no, we won't do it because we know that our customers, they love our stores. They love to come into our stores and they love to open the box of the DVDs. And what they mostly like is the click. When you click at the center of the CD to get it out of the box, it's a sound that they love it so much. It's impossible that your business of DVD per post will work as much as our business. So no, we won't buy your business. Okay, who were those two guys? Does somebody know? Nobody knows. Okay, those two guys were the founders of Netflix. Yes, that was the first business model of Netflix. They were renting DVDs by post. And of course, they evolved and they are the business you know today. They are present in more than 190 countries. They have $20 billion turnover a year with something like 8,600 employees. And if we look at Blockbuster, there's only one shop left. It's in Oregon, in the United States, with 4 employees. And if you want, you can rent a night on Airbnb if you miss this period of VHS tapes. You can go spend a night there. So this is the kind of disruption that happened in the economy today, and that's the punch in the face that Blockbuster had when Netflix came out. So where does it come from? This is a disruption, a digital disruption. It comes, of course, from the rising of new technologies, but also there are new generation of consumers and people on this planet. And all that creates a new economy, a digital economy. I've got a question for you. Does somebody know how many times per day you unlock your phone? So Mustafa, it's a bit too much. 1,100 times, 200 times. Mathieu said, okay. The answer is 221 times in average. So that means maybe Mustafa opens his phone 1,000 times a day. But in average, it's more than 200 times a day. That's a new behavior that 20 years ago didn't exist. So how did that happen? Of course, there was the rise of the internet by the end of the 90s. It made the consumer hyper-informed. What does it mean? Who knows the concept of the SMOT? Raise your hand. Not that many. Okay. If you recognize the colors, you can guess it's a concept of Google. Where does it come from? The SMOT means zero moment of truth. So if you look back at marketing 20, 30 years ago, we used to say that there were 2 moments of truth. So first you had that stimulus. So typically the advertising that you saw on TV, you heard on radio, so in the street. And then you got into the store, you saw the product, and you buy it. That's the first moment of truth. You buy the product that you saw in advertising. And then the second moment of truth is the moment when you go home, you use the product, whether it be a snack, anything, you test it, and you experience it, and you decide at that very moment if you will buy it again or not. So that was the second moment of truth. Today, the paradigm has changed. Where does it come? It's the fact that 20 years ago, the seller had more information about the product than the buyer. But today, thanks to the internet, thanks to Google, thanks to the social media, you as consumer have more information than the seller about the product. You don't need to be sold anymore. You just need to get the information you want, to compare products, to look at reviews, ask the advice of your friends, and then you decide based on much more information that you could have 20 years ago. That's the impact of the internet. There's also the fact that the technology has never been so affordable. As you can see on this picture, I don't know who has an Echo Alexa Home? Raise your hand. Or Google Home, it works too. Not that many. Okay, I've got Google Home, and I've got a kid, he's 4 years old now. And the first thing he does in the morning, he gets in the kitchen where the Google Home is, and what he does is, okay, Google, play some music for children on Spotify, please. And that's how he starts his day. And my daughter, she's 12 years old. The first thing she does, okay, Google, what's the weather today? So she knows how to dress up. So the technology today is really cheap. Okay, maybe the Tesla is not a good example, but the technology is really cheap. So it's really easy to acquire a smartphone, a connected device like a Fitbit or any device that you can on the internet. This means that with all that technology, our behaviors have changed. We have evolved. Do you recognize yourself on the right of the picture, or am I wrong? Tell me in the chat if I'm wrong or right.
Fabian, allez-y, c'est Didier, bonsoir. La plupart le font, ils se reconnaissent dedans. Voilà,
Okay.
allez-y. 99 disent oui. Voilà.
Okay. Okay, and our needs too, because if you look at the Maslow pyramid, of course, you see the first thing you do when you arrive at a new place is look for the Wi-Fi and make sure you have enough battery. I think that's something we all do today. This phenomenon is what we call the digital Darwinism. So this means that any company today, big or small, you remember the example of Blockbuster, has to adapt to this new paradigm. It has to adapt to the digital economy, or they will die. If we look at the 500 most important companies in the world 20 years ago and today, half of them have already disappeared just because of digital and this transformation of the economy. Looking at that, the insurance industry is also being disrupted by new entrants. So that's what we see, and we could not ignore it any longer. So I'm going to show you rapidly a few new entrants, a few startups, technology startups that entered the insurance industry during the last 5 years. So this is the biggest one, Lemonade. So Lemonade offers home insurance in the United States. They were created in 2016. They already raised more than $500 as capital. So that's really a lot of money. And today, 20% of the new home insurance contracts in the United States are bought to Lemonade. So that's a huge impact on the US market. And Lemonade is now available in Germany, but also in the Netherlands. They announced that they will launch in France in the next weeks. And of course, we are surrounded, and they are coming to Belgium very soon, I think. Another one is here FitSense. So FitSense, basically, it's something like the Fitbit. It's a bracelet that you wear to measure your health. And now they switch to sell insurance with their product. In France too, Nuco, that's the fastest growing insurtech in Europe. So they raised something like 50 million euros. They were created in 2016 too. They started by selling connected devices for home appliances. And now they also sell insurance, and that's the major part of their business. Still in France, they're only available in French, sorry. That's a smartphone insurance. You pay per month a little price, and you get your smartphone covered. This is Belgian, CoverMe. CoverMe is the consumer brand of the company Cover that was created also, I think, in 2016. And they decided to launch direct-to-consumer products and to launch in France too. And they are the insurer behind Deliveroo's riders. If you look at another Belgian company, Cowboy. So Cowboy, basically, they build and they sell electric bikes, and you see here it's a beautiful bike. But they also send an insurance that you pay for months that's called Easy Rider. Even the name is really great. And so it's a theft and vandalism insurance for your bike, because they noticed that for people to their bicycle was that they were afraid to be to have their bicycle damaged or stolen. So they partnered with Cover, and they designed this insurance for their customers, and that helped them increase their sales. Another Belgian company, it's Serafin. So it's an insurance broker. So they sell the products of other insurance companies such as AXA, AG Insurance, or other ones. And they do it all online. So it's your connected broker or digital broker. They are the new players in town, and they were acting 3 years ago. So you see the market is really evolving. Those new entrants are coming on the market, and they are disrupting the traditional players that have some problems. If you look at traditional players, and I can include ETIAS in these players, well, today they compete only on prices. So if you wait for any insurance, you could have a promotion, 50% free, or 10% free, or 3 months for free, almost any time of the year. They all face technological and cultural debts. What does it mean? It means that those companies, if you look at ETIAS, it's a 100 years old company. So it's a great company, but they have a technological debt. What does it mean? It means that their IT systems were created in the 50s and they evolved. But if you look at it, there's still some programs or software that runs since the 80s. So it's not that agile to make such an information system evolve to meet the needs, technological needs of today. In those companies, you also have a cultural depth. It means that you can find many managers in those companies. So people who follow the rules, who follow the processes, but you cannot find many entrepreneurs and people with an entrepreneurial spirit. And of course, when you look at startups and new entrants, these are entrepreneurs. So they take more risk and they try things and test things. This sometimes and often fail. But sometimes they succeed, like Lemonade or Serafin or Cowboy that we just saw. They also have, these are big organizations, so they have high overhead costs. And when you addition everything, you see that their profits are slowly eroding. So what did we decided to do? We decided to disrupt ourselves before we got disrupted by those new entrants. We looked at the market. We looked at how we were standing in the digital economy, and so this is a SWOT analysis. So everybody knows what the SWOT analysis is. In this SWOT, you see that ETIAS has great strengths. For example, the image. ETIAS is the insurance brands in Belgium with the most awareness and the better image. If you look at the Net Promoter Score, so it's a data that most companies use to understand if people, their customers, like it. ETIAS has the best image within the insurance industry in Belgium. There's a direct and phygital business model. What does it mean? Most of the insurance companies in Belgium sell their products through brokers, but ETIAS sells indirect. So it's another strength. We have more data about our customers than other companies. It's also a 100 years old company, so we have much experience and expertise in the industry. Our weaknesses, a bit this what I just told. So the company size, the mass market. So we have to make compromises when we make communications or marketing. We cannot. We have to address people of 19 years old we address people of 25 years old, and that's sometimes a weakness. We have this tech legacy that all players have. And as we discussed, there are those new entrants that are coming to the market. We call the digital disruption, but also the GAFA. Everybody knows who the GAFAs are. I guess so. You use them every day on your phone, on your laptops. So GAFA is for Google, Amazon, Facebook, Apple. So the biggest companies today in this world. So we looked for the opportunities, and we decided to go for some full digital customer experience to address a niche market that was maybe you, the millennials, so people born after 81. And we wanted also to test new ways of working, and new ways of doing things. So we created Flora, which is the first 100% digital insurance in Belgium. And just to let you understand how it works, what it is, we made a small video that I'm going to play right now and that you can find on YouTube.
Dit is Flora, de eerste 100% digitale verzekering van België. Een verzekeringscontract afsluiten of een schadegeval melden was nog nooit zo eenvoudig. Een terugbetaling krijgen ging nog nooit zo snel. Met Flora kan je je in minder dan 2 minuten online verzekeren. Zeg ons over welk type woning het gaat, geef je adres in, vertel ons je huurbedrag en je krijgt meteen je prijs te zien. Klinkt goed? Maak je account aan. Zeg ons vanaf wanneer je wil starten. Kies je betaalmiddel. En bevestig je contract. Dat ging snel. Contract in orde, download de app en meld je aan. Je huurbaas vraagt je om een verzekeringsbewijs. Stuur het hem rechtstreeks door via de app. Hoe cool is dat? Heb je een probleem waarvoor we moeten tussenkomen? Open de chat in de app. Vertel Flora wat er is gebeurd. En zeg ons wat er beschadigd of gestolen is. Wij berekenen het bedrag van je schadevergoeding en betalen je zo snel mogelijk terug. Dank je, Flora. Interesse? Check je prijs en sluit in minder dan 2 minuten je contract af op onze site www.flora.insure.
Okay, so now that you I hope understand what is Flora, let's talk about the journey. How did we get there? So I tried to summarize the way and the methodologies and the tools we used to design this value proposition, this product, this app, and the whole customer experience we wanted to offer to our customers, and how we built it and where we are today. So the first step, the first thing we did is we got out of the building. So most of the time, people work within their company, inside their building, together, just to decide what they want to offer as an experience to the customers. Today, a better practice is really to go meet the people that you want to sell to, and to talk to them, to interview them, ask them what they need, what are their problems, what they wish they had regarding their insurance or any product or service. So we use this tool, which is the value proposition canvas. Everything is described in the book that you can see on the bottom left of the slide. Value proposition design, and really, if you have interest in creating a value proposition for people, this is the best book on this planet to make it with a really nice methodology and easy to implement, and to build a value proposition that will fit the needs and match the needs of your customers. So we got out there and we interviewed people. in real life, but also online through little surveys. And what did we found? So do you have any idea what we found people think about insurer? If I ask you the question, can you tell me what you think about insurers or insurance company?
Too much trouble to fill in all the papers. I saw one of the remarks.
And too much trouble to arrange something, and very long process for getting things done.
Yeah, that things we
so
heard.
rather negative.
Yeah, and okay, the biggest finding we had is this one. People hate insurers because of several reasons. First, they are opaque. It means that it's not they sell. What is that in the contract? What is covered? What is not? And they really don't understand insurance. And the thing also that we discovered is that it's linked to the fact that the insurance brokers make it complex, so people continue to buy through them. Because today in Belgium, it's 80% of the market of the insurance policies are sold through broker or agents. The second thing is they think they are dishonest, because when you have a problem and you ask your insurer to compensate when you claim for a problem that happened, and they tell you no, you won't get reimbursed because it was not covered, or okay, your TV, it was too old, so sorry, here's 20 euros and go buy another TV. So they see insurers as completely dishonest. And the third thing is that the people, when they did not have any problem that needed an insurer to solve this problem and to reimburse, they think that insurance is useless because it's the only product that you pay for nothing, hoping to have nothing. So you pay, but you hope to get nothing in return. And so many people think that insurers are useless. Based on this, we filled our Canva. I won't go through it in detail. So, but there are things that were also interesting. For example, the price. Often we have because we have people that say that the price for any product or service is really important. Here, it was not that important. So that's why we put it in as a game. So if it's a low price, it's nice, but it doesn't have to be that low. So we don't have the lowest or the cheapest product on the market. The next thing next to the value proposition that we build is to design the insurance product. So we made something that was really close to what is offered by most of the companies on the market. Why? Because it's a regulated product. It's one of the two mandatory insurance products on the market, with the liability for auto and the liability for home renting are the two insurance that are mandatory in Belgium. So we tried to have a price that was attractive, not cheap, but attractive. So just for information, this is not the final price. So we decided to change a bit later on the model of the pricing. So what we offer next to this product, our value proposition, is insurance as it should be: simple, fast, transparent, and ethic. So that's clearly the value proposition that we put on the market, because as people think it's complex, we want to be simple. As people and many of you said that it's long, it's complicated processes, we want to be fast. So with Flora, you can get insured in less than 2 minutes online. We want to be transparent, so we worked a lot on our general terms and conditions. If you read them, I'm sure you will understand them, and I really would like to invite you to go to our website. We have a page describing the product, and there you can download a PDF with the conditions. Please read them and give me a feedback if you didn't understand something within the document. And we also want to be an ethic company. That's also because ETIAS, maybe you know it, maybe not. It means in French, éthique, assurance, ETIAS. So that's one of our core values. The step 2 was, after designing this value proposition, was to test it. How did we do that? We went into universities and we asked people also in the street, in shops. We were looking for people that we were targeting, so people in their 20s that could probably rent a house, and ask them to do this little test. So we put them in a situation where we say, okay, you just visited a new apartment, you want to rent it, but the owner tells you that you need home insurance. So you made a research on Google and you find those 3. You look at the page describing the product of ETIAS, the page describing the product of DVV, and the page describing the product of Flora. It didn't exist at that moment. It was just a simple web page describing the value proposition. So we made the tests, I think 4 times, and every time we were making our landing page better. So the feedback after the 4th test was that 11 people out of the 12 that we tested chose Flora as an insurer. And when we asked them why, they said it's because it's clear, information is well structured, we understand, we also like the color. It changed a bit. As you can see, it was more fluo here, and we are a bit softer now with our new logo. But that's how we tested our value proposition. We wanted to make sure that people would buy our product just before spending a lot of money developing our IT system and marketing our product. The second thing that we tested at that moment, it's the prototype of our mobile application. So the concept of Flora is that you subscribe on the website, on your mobile or on your desktop. By the way, once you are a customer, you have to download the app to get access to your contract, to fill a claim and stuff like that. So we rapidly prototyped a mobile application using a design tool. So this is not code. It was not coded. It was really images that when you click, it goes to the next one, etc. So we in a few hours or days, we make a whole prototype of a mobile application. And next to the value proposition test, we tested the user experience of the app, and we improved it every time after each test. The next step is that, of course, we had some homework too. Not everything has to be done outside the building. So we studied the market. We looked at what was the market. So here in Belgium, it's something around 250 and 300 million euros every year that are spent in renter insurance. So we designed a first iteration of our business model, just mapping who were our target customers, what were our value propositions, what kind of relationship we wanted with our customers, our revenue streams, what would be our cost structure and stuff like that. So this is also from the guys who created the value proposition Canva. It's called the business model Canva. Maybe some of you know it. Raise your hand if you know the business model Canva. And if you don't, please buy the book Business Model Generation. It's really a nice tool. In one image, you can map the way a company works, and it's really interesting exercise. The next step is that we design our operating model. How are we going to function? So Flora is not a subsidiary of ETIAS. It's a business unit of ETIAS. So this means that we are a team within the company, but we don't have our own juridisch entiteit. We have our own offices even if we didn't use them very much this year because we were everybody worked from home since March. But in green, for example, it's everything that we manage ourselves. In orange, it's what is managed by the support team at ETIAS, and there are things that we outsource completely, like the expertise by loss adjusters once we have a claim and they have to go at the customer's house to check the place and see what has to be done, etc. Then we design our go-to-market strategy. So we use the R model, which is a model by Dave Mackler, which is called Key Metrics for Startups and for Pirates. I really like it. So acquisition, it's how you get traffic to your website. Activation is how you make visitors buy your product. Retention is how you keep them customers. Referral is how you use your customers to bring in new customers and refer to friends, for example. And revenue to sell to generate revenue. So what's interesting here is our acquisition strategy. The first thing is that we rely on, I would say, traditional digital marketing, social media, YouTube advertising, etc. But we also identified that there were two personas that were great influencer in the buying process of a home insurance product. It's first the owner of the apartment, of the house, who says you need an insurance. So if we can offer them something, they would recommend our product. So we are planning to build a proof of insurance management portal. It will be released in the first quarter of next year. In this way, we can notify the owner if, for example, the renter didn't pay the insurance or terminated his contract. And the other persona that we identified had a big influence on the buying is the real estate agent. So we did the same thing. We went out of the building, we talked to these real estate agents, and we found that almost the only thing that they are interested in is making more money. So we decided to build a web portal too, where they could refer some prospects, and if those prospects become Flora customers, they'll get a referral fee. So this is part of our acquisition strategy, and all those functionalities for homeowners and real estate agents, we want also to offer them through an API that will allow some other startups active in the real estate industry so they could provide us leads, for example, from within their mobile application that runs their real estate agency. Street Bright and Smoothin are two Belgian startups. And you can have a look if you're interested in what they do. Next, step 4, we tested some of our hypotheses, of our assumptions. So, for example, the concept of filling a claim within a chatbot in a mobile app and having it managed by someone from within a back office in Salesforce is something that we had to test. To see if it was working. So we did a proof of concept, a technical one, in the summer 2019. We also made a marketing test. We published the landing page that was tested with the people in real life. And we launched Facebook ads and YouTube ads and Google search campaigns to test those acquisition channels and to measure the cost to acquire a new customer. So that could help us with the next step, which is the business case. Yeah, I said a necessary evil because it's not a really fun exercise, but you have to do it. So the idea was really to measure what investment we needed to build Flora, put it on the market, and of course, will it be profitable and when? So this is not the true, this won't be the reality. So we want it to be the reality, of course, but the truth will be different. and we can talk about that during the Q&A session if you want. But you need at least some kind of assumptions and hypotheses to build a business case that is realistic. Then we got the I mean, the management board of ETIAS said, okay, we are gonna fund your project. As you saw, we asked something like 7 million euros, and they gave it to us, and they also gave us the autonomy and the freedom to make this project happen and to make Flora happen. Within our own business unit, with our own purchasing process, our own information system, and everything that we needed to make Flora a reality, as if we were a startup that started from scratch by definition. The next step was to build an A-team. Does anybody knows the A-team, the movie series? Raise your hand if you do. Maybe Sarah and Danielle. Oh, okay. Some people do. Great. You watched it with your parents when you were younger, I guess. Okay. So we relied almost only on internal resources from people from ETIAS, people from NRB, so the subsidiary. But we also have some external consultants for marketing, for example, or really Salesforce experts that we needed because that's the CRM we implemented. But the thing is that we have our own methodology, are really an entrepreneurial mindset. We have no silo, because in most companies, what you see is that the product guys are working on their side, they're building the product, then they give it to the marketing guys. They say, okay, you have to market this. Once the marketing material is clear, and say, okay, now you have to sell this. Here's the material to help you in the way. And at the end, nobody buys because nobody talked to the customer and nobody got aligned internally on what was the value proposition, how we're going to sell it, how we're going to market it, and stuff like that, and how we're going to build it, and what we needed to build in reality to make it on the market. If we look at the methodologies that we use to develop the digital platform of Flora, we use agile software development methodologies like Kanban and Scrum, and the tools that go with it that are Jira and Confluence. So how we work with really two tracks. This one works in Kanban. That's the way we design the product. So as a product owner, I manage the priority of the features, the user stories that we're going to put in the product, in the mobile app, in the Salesforce application for our customer care managers to work. So here you have a little snapshot on what's coming in our app. So for example, one of our main assumption was that people will be okay with paying their insurance with only a credit card or a PayPal account. And now, after a few weeks that we are live, we realized that we needed to allow them to pay with their traditional bank system. So in the third column, you can see that we have Pay My Insurance with e-SEPA domiciliation, which is a way to allow us to take the money on your bank account every month. So every feature goes from one step to another until the last column, where we give it to the development team, the Scrum team, because there they work in pure Scrum, and they develop the product front to back. What does it mean? It means that when we design and implement a feature of Flora, we start from the user experience, which means the feature in the mobile app. How does it have to be for the customer? And we make it through the back office system, because we want really the features to be user-centric and our developments to be user-centric. The thing is, now that you have this methodology, is to build your MVP. Does someone know what MVP means in the chat?
A few answers, all the same. Most valuable player.
No, that's what you. Yeah, I didn't expect that one, but that's a bit true. The most valuable player is okay for the American football, yeah, but here it means minimum viable product. So it's the minimum set of features of a product that you have to build to be able to put it on the market and to sell it. So traditionally, when you build a mobile application or any digital product, big companies work like the higher part of this image. So if they want to build a car, they start by designing and implementing the wheels. Then they make the bottom of the car. Then they start to put the doors and a chair in it. And then they finish the car, and it's only at step 4 that you can go drive. When you build an MVP, and that's what and how we work at Flora, if we want to ride, we started by building a skateboard that is going to evolve into I don't know the name in English, sorry. Then into a bike, then into a motorbike, and then into a car. And along the way, from step 1, we can get customer feedback and adapt our roadmap, our features roadmap, to what they tell us, and we can evolve the car in the direction that our customer want. So we get more satisfaction sooner, and we get more happy customers at the end. And I like this quote from the founder of LinkedIn. He said regarding to this concept, he said that if you aren't embarrassed by the first version of your product, it means that you shipped too late. So if you look at the mobile app of Flora today, our website, there are bugs. There are things that I'm not happy at all with. There are features or functionalities that just before the launch I said, okay, it's not working, it's not mandatory, we're going to remove it from the first version and we're going to optimize it for a next one if people ask for it. So that's really the way we work. That's really disruptive for an insurance company like Etias, who was used to really build the perfect product, create the perfect product, then ship it. Here we consciously built a minimum viable product, we shipped it, and now we are optimizing it with the feedback from our first customers. And honestly, this is a great achievement because we delivered the MVP of Flora, which is a 100% in the cloud information system. It's unique in the insurance world. And we did this in 9 months. And this information system allows to run end-to-end an insurance company. And we did that using some partners, NRB, of course, as you go, which is a partner for the Salesforce application. And Viso is a IT security company. But we rely on all those technologies. AWS, of course, Amazon as e-commerce, but it's also, and its biggest business now is the power computing providing and storage providing in the cloud. Salesforce, Rockestates, It's Me, and all those technologies that are fully in the cloud and that are really up to date and state of the art when you look at the technology landscape today. Next step is to launch, learn, and adapt. And then, just as I said, we learned already a lot after 2 months live now. We noticed that we made some mistakes. We adapted on the way. And just as when you launch, the first thing that you have to focus on after the building of your product is really to grow your customer base. And if you're interested in this aspect, where now in the digital economy you can mix some traditional marketing with some inside the product marketing to help your product grow. There are 2 books that you can really read. They're on the slide. So it's Traction by Bloomberg that presents 20 ways to acquire customers, and Ryan Holiday's Growth Hacker Marketing, which is a must-read if you want to build your startup and if you want to launch a project. That's it for me. Really, thank you for listening. It was an hour long. I hope you're not asleep, and I also hope you have lots of questions for me. So go ahead.
How much was the cost of the app design?
It's a difficult question because, as I said, we don't work in silo. But the total budget to design and implement the MVP this year was 2 million euros. But it's not only an app, a mobile app. That's a big cost for a mobile app, but it's a whole information system for an insurance company. Another question?
What does the future for insurance companies hold?
Well, I think that the next big trend in the insurance industry is what we call embed insurance. So what the example of Cowboy, for example, that I quoted earlier is an example of embedded insurance. You buy any product, and there's an insurance that goes with it. And I think that more and more companies will offer this kind of co-product or this kind of model.
Someone asks if you also offer other insurances or only home insurance, like, for example, maybe car insurance. Is that something for the future?
So for the moment, we only have home insurance for renters. We are working on a next product, which is a family insurance, personal liability insurance. Then we would like to make a home insurance for people who buy a new home. But then we have to make a deal with a bank to offer a package with the home insurance, the loan, and then we plan to make a product really for co-renting. And the car insurance is not on the roadmap at this moment.
Okay, maybe the final question for tonight. Can online insurance offer the same service as other traditional insurers?
I hope so. I think that for complex products, insurance products, or really custom products, it's not that easy to automate things. And that's what we try to do. That's also why we started with this insurance product, because it's a simple product. It's easy, I would say, to make digital, but if you look, for example, there was a question about the car insurance. The car insurance is way more complex products because you have way more car types than home types.
Fabian, merci.
Met plezier.
Ik ga het hierbij laten, denk ik. Het was leuk om een eerste webinar van Young & Strong te kunnen organiseren. Ik dank dan ook aan alle kijkers die er waren. En ik hoop ze in de toekomst nog een keertje terug te zien. Jij ook bedankt voor de tijd die je erin hebt gestoken. En ik zou zeggen aan iedereen, hou onze website youngandstrong.be in de gaten, maar ook onze social media, Facebook en Instagram, voor wat de toekomst nog brengt aan leuke activiteiten in het voorjaar en in 2021, wanneer we elkaar ook weer hopelijk nog fysiek mogen zien. En dan wens ik jullie allen nog een hele fijne avond en tot snel.